Ride-sharing apps like Uber and Lyft changed our ability to get around. It also made it easier for sex traffickers to get their victims to and from clients.
It's become such a problem that Metro has a task force dedicated specifically to sex workers using rideshare. Fox 5's Cindy Lundenberg spoke to a former prostitute who told her how rideshare was used to control her life.
Yeah, John, Christine, this is Angela. She's a sex trafficking survivor. She says her pimp would use Uber and Lyft to transport her. She says the rides to and from her clients were some of the very few moments that she was ever away from her pimp. She says she hopes rideshare drivers will take advantage of those moments to save other victims like her. Angela used to call Las Vegas home before she escaped the sex trafficking industry. Her abuser, Tyree Wright, beat her within an inch of her life.
Ambushed me in the door and just beat me and beat me and beat me, aiming for my ribs and my skull. All I seen was flashes, and I felt my bones breaking.
Her attack came when she tried to leave him. For 4 years, Angela says Tyree Wright would shuttle her around using rideshare.
There's a lot of pimps that use rideshare to get their girls to either go work at a strip club or go from hotel to hotel.
She says pimps like Wright use their own accounts to move their girls to and from clients. It allows them to not be seen and allows them to keep track of the girls' movements from afar.
At some point, you don't believe that there's help out there because they instill that in your mind.
I wanted to know how big of an issue it really is. So I called a rideshare driver who told me he has absolutely picked up working girls.
I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. It does happen. I have picked up girls that I know, I can smell at a mile away that they're working girls.
It's a problem Metro's trying to tackle.
But I think it's something that's just emerging because rideshare is still so new.
Metro says there are things drivers should be doing. For example, if you think you have a sex trafficking victim in your car, call Metro or the sex trafficking hotline and take notice of the girl. How old is she? Does she have any tattoos or distinguishing features? Also, look at who called. It's often the pimp.
We would rather go out and discover it's nothing than not get a call when somebody really needs help.
Last year, more than 2,200 calls came into the national hotline for sex trafficking just for the state of Nevada, and this led to more than 200 victims being identified. The majority of these victims are children, some as young as 12.
What if I'm making a mistake and it's not what I think it is? But what if it is? Give the information and let the experts investigate. And if it turns out to be nothing, that's great. If it turns out to be something, you might have saved a life.
Despite rideshare being used to control Angela's life for 4 years, ironically, it was a Lyft driver who saved her life.
And I begged him to please take me to the hospital. I felt like it would take too long for an ambulance to come because I was bleeding out so bad. He actually gave me a ride, bloody and everything. He was my lifesaver.
And that's her message to other rideshare drivers. You can be the difference between life and death for these girls.
Situations like that, people can definitely be an angel to people. It's dire that they help.
Angela's attacker was convicted and sentenced to 9.5 years. Now she wants to help other girls escape the sex trafficking industry, and she has a suggestion. She'd like to see Uber and Lyft drivers have cards or maybe pamphlets with emergency phone numbers so victims can get help while they're away from their pimp. In the studio, Cindy Lundenberg, Fox 5 News, local Las Vegas.